painting to photography, from beadwork to woodworking. KQAL-FM on the campus of Winona State University presents Art Beat. Art Beat highlights the work and accomplishments of local artists from in and around Winona. Support for Art Beat is made possible by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund.
Today on Art Beat, we get an inside look at the 2025 iDMAa Conference and exhibition, which took place from October 9th to October 12th, 2025, on the campus of Winona State University. iDMAa stands for the International Digital Media and Arts Association and explores the creation of many types of media made by everyday people. This year's exhibition focuses on folk media in the digital age. This week on Art Beat, we get a chance to talk with Professor Bettina Fabos from the University of Northern Iowa about their topic, An Introduction to Fortepan. I'm Kristine Osorio, inviting you to join me as we explore Fortepan with Kathryn Hannahan, Bettina Fabos, and Isaac Campbell on Art Beat. Starting off the presentation, we have Professor Bettina Fabos from the University of Northern Iowa.
I'm here to introduce this project, and the idea was I was going to play a video that would say, this is Fortepan, and we have this cute little introduction. One of the things that we like to say is it's a funny word, Fortepan. There is no correct way of saying it. Some people say Fortepan, some people say Fortepan. It's a Hungarian word. It is connected to an archival film. If anybody's a photographer, they may have heard of Fortepan film and Fortepan paper, something similar to Kodak. And it was a big deal in especially global Europe, but it was a brand that was beloved around the world, and it was defunct in 2001. So our project is a sister site of a Hungarian project that is just like filled with genius, and so we copied them, and we're collaborating with them, and we're kind of creating this it's kind of a movement about celebrating family history, family photos, and vernacular photos, vernacular photography, which has been sort of like underloved by art historians and by museums and stuff. So our project is about the photos of everyday life and about images of place. So I'm going to talk in three categories. I'm just giving you what I'm kind of a foreshadowing of the three areas I'm going to talk about. We have a platform that we developed for sharing photos and for exploring local history. And it is a platform that's based on exploration. We have a way of exploring photos that we think is far and above the user experience that we are offered by traditional archival platforms like the Library of Congress. We love the Library of Congress, but the search experience is not so great for everyday people. It's great for archivists, but not for people like us. Our platform also is a stage or a place for interpretation. So I'm going to introduce you to some applications that are built into the platform for doing things with the photos and telling stories. And it's also a platform that is geared towards displaying images. It's creating solutions for small institutions and local heritage societies for sharing images and sharing photos. So I want to first talk about exploration. Place, time, and theme is how we choose to organize photographs. And who here has a photo album that at home is organized by time, chronologically? Like when you do a photo album about your trip, do you start in the middle of the trip? Do you start at the end of the trip? No, you start at the beginning of the trip, or if you have a photo album of your life, you start when you're a baby, right? Or wherever, at one point. We think chronologically it makes sense to us, and archivists don't include chronology in the way that we search for images, and to us it's absolutely essential. So I have this image that it's so funny. Every time when you go to our platform, you get another new random image. And when I was just finding an image for the photo, this is the one that came up, and I'm like, let's go with it. Let's go with 1979. So I don't know. Am I standing in the way? Can you guys all see the platform more or less? So the platform is really simple. It showcases an image, a big image. This is what we call timeline view, because we've got this elastic timeline. I'm going to click through to the actual platform itself that shows that image. And I can go forward. There's the Pope. I can go backwards. And basically, these are all images from 1979. So it captures life, right, in Iowa. So most of the images, because our project was born in Iowa, but we're now moving to Minnesota, which is why we're all here. It says Everyday Life in Iowa in 1979, right? And we curate the images. We look for images that have the most meaning for people, that give us the most joy, that say something about life in a certain place in a certain time. So we're very much interested in connecting people to the everyday. And another thing I just want to say just about vernacular photos, I did mention that they can be kind of forgotten because they tend to be really redundant, really repetitive. People have kind of like put them in the waste bins of art history and all this stuff because it's like they're not seen as relevant by the institutions, the galleries, the libraries, the archives, and the museums. They don't feel that vernacular photos are relevant. But we, in our movement, are saying that's crazy. Our history is history. Family history is history. It's as relevant as any public, famous, wealthy, usually white guy official. Our history is relevant too. So we want to tell the visual history of the bottom up instead of the top down. So we showcase. What you have here, just a little tour, is I can grab this little 1979 and it turns to whatever year I want to go to. So I'm landing now in 1918. I can land in 1919. I can flip through and all of a sudden discover a world of 1918, 1919 images. I can explore the image by this kind of, this timeline here. I can zoom and see the thumbnails, so we want to make it really easy and intuitive. And do you see how fast it is to go between one image and the next? So we really prize speed. We had a terrible moment like 2 weeks ago when the AI bots were crashing our sites because AI bots tend to glob things up. So we had to sort that out and figure out how to evade the AI bot searching. But the project allows you to also search through the info box, and we have all these tags. I don't know if you can see them, but there's a tag for boat. So I can search in chronological order all the boats, mostly in Iowa. And again, I can find that boat on the timeline. I am now in the world of boats right now, so I can zoom ahead and I can explore boats in 1955, and then I can explore boats in 1967. So you can see how it's very immediate, it's very satisfying, and that's what we want, and that's not what traditional archives give us. So it's not like we don't think that they're important, but we want to give another option for people to search for photos and to find meaning. So exploration is really important. We have grid view, and we have timeline view, and then let me go back to the slideshow. We also have map view. This is still under development. What's missing are the clusters of the number clusters, and we're one of those tragedies of the NEH grant. Losing funding, so we lost $40,000, and so we're still trying to find a way to finance the clustering. But if I go along the map, and if that was just an image, and now I'm actually in the map. If I travel up the map, I'm in Iowa. I can go to let's see. Let me go to the Mississippi. That'll make sense. So as I travel up the Mississippi, I am now entering images of Minnesota. So it's, again, like another way of making images accessible. Am I in your way? Sorry. To make images accessible and immediate. And we want this immediate kind of satisfaction of finding things when you need it, where you need it. And to search according to 7,715, I think, is the number of tags that we have right now. So that's a lot of tags. And very, very, can you help me think of some cool tags that are some of your favorites, Isaac, that you like? Alligator wrestling.
Alligator wrestling.
I don't know, like Dutch angle as a tag. I mean, just like crazy cool tags that are sometimes extremely specific and sometimes, more general. So we have in terms of exploration, timeline view, grid view, map view, everything has a time element, of course. So the second area that I wanted to talk to you is about our tools that we built through federal funding and in some cases regional funding for interpretation. I come from a history background of journalism and interactive digital storytelling and documentary, and same with these two. So we are really big into doing things with the photo. So it's not just enough to make them accessible. Oh, and by the way, they're part of the Creative Commons, so any of these images are downloadable and usable just for attribution and share alike, if you're familiar with the Creative Commons licenses. But we're really, really interested in having these images used. And one of the things we're going to do after this session is use them by cutting them out, downloading them, and wheat pasting them on sidewalks and decorating them. It's going to be fun. But we have built tools inside the platform itself so that anybody can just create an account and start using the images. And I just wanted to demo two and kind of three tools that we are really, really excited about. Let me see where I've linked through. Okay, so we have three tools: Photo Album, Photo Story, and Photosphere Tour. And I think I click on this. Yes, I'm here. Okay, that's a cool photo, right? Joy. So let me just log in here, because this is not my computer, but it's good for you to see the process of logging in just with your email and whatever private password you have created. If you want to create an account, I'm just going to show you. You have this little person icon, and that just shows you that you're in. But it costs nothing, and anybody can use an account to add tags. I didn't mention that it's crowdsourced tagging, so people can see words that maybe they know what breed of cow that is, but we haven't been able to determine it. So damn it, put that breed of cow in so somebody who's interested in that breed can find those images, right? Everybody in this room is an expert in something. So whether it's knitting or whether it's a certain kind of sewing machine or whether it's, a kind of car. So we love drilling down to the details so that the images can find their way to the people who are interested in those images. Okay, so Photo Album is one of our little fantastic applications or ways to play, ways to tell stories through whatever you choose to categorize certain subset of images with. But I want to show you what you can do. You can create a photo story. We're going to use the Tender Men collection. And you always start a photo story with a photo album. So you build a photo album. And then you can organize the album in any way and add all sorts of text. So we can tell pretty sophisticated digital stories using the tools that we have created. So I selected create. I'm choosing Tender Men. And it comes to a blank screen. And then I can just start building. If you ever want to know how to build, there's a tour here that just boom, 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 takes you through every single step. But I just start, clicking on images. I can change the image if I don't like that. Maybe that's not the best image. Maybe I should get a more horizontal image, and I can say tenderness, and I can add by something. I don't want to spend a lot of time. I want to urge you guys to play with this tool, but it is built to be intuitive. It's built to be fun. It's built to create, digital stories that are about any kind of theme. I'm typing in some paragraphs. So you can see, you can just keep on adding text. And again, I don't want to take up a lot of time. Please explore and look at our creation tools page, because here is a list of the creation tools, and you can see examples of all the things that I'm explaining to you. The last thing we have available is our Photosphere application. And what's cool about this, and I was just talking to our two wonderful archivists. I don't know exactly what your titles are, but we are exploring and excited about the possibility of creating a sort of Google Street View with historical photo overlays. So it's really cool to imagine how your campus could possibly come to life with historical images of the buildings and experiencing a certain place from different decades. So I'm in Ottumwa, Iowa from the 1950s, and now I'm jumping to the 1880s, and you can see how it's like a pretty cool experience to see, how a city emerged through kind of historical street view. Any questions about this project? Go for it, Devin.
So in terms of locating these buildings, like what are you using to, like how is the data being tagged for geographical locations?
Yeah, it's great. We don't use Google. It's very specifically so. We're anti, I don't have to go into it right now. But we have 360 cameras. And we stand at the place where the original photo was taken. We take a reference photo with our phone, and then we take a 360 image. We upload the images, and we photo match at the back end. And we have a really fun time photo matching. It's just really great. We have some of those images I showed you. We used a drone to take the image. So instead of a 360 camera on the ground with a tripod, we have been able to use a drone, and those are just incredibly, we have an incredibly accurate way of photo matching, better than any other application I've seen out there. So I'm really proud of what we've done. So thanks for your question. And then after the photosphere, the final thing, here is where you can go into an archive, and if there's an icon there, you can see it's been photosphered. So go there and explore. We have, I think, about 1,000 images of UNI's campus, which is my university, University of Northern Iowa. We have geolocated and photosphered about 1,000 images, and they're having a sesquicentennial right now. So those images are really coming in handy as they think about their past. The last thing I just wanted to show you is we're developing, this is just not yet ready, and it's just the design we have, but we want to tell stories in a different way using maps. We're calling this our photo map tool. So there's a couple of different views, and it's very flexible. You can move the images around, and we want to make it so that this is a touch screen capability, so that people can move things around with their hands and stuff like that, and make it really great for just any kind of small institution that doesn't have the money to create a tool like this. It's all built into the platform. So we're, again, creating something that is all-in-one, kind of. It's like it's not just a cool place to explore photos, but it's a place where you can actually do things with the photos. And then finally, we just uploaded this image yesterday, and so I just wanted to share with you because I think it's awesome. And I was saying to Isaac, please, can we animate this? Because he's a great animator. The last category I wanted to tell you about is just that we're really interested in finding ways to display the images. And the first way is just embedding. So we can embed any version of the platform into another website. It's just a couple lines of code. And it's really powerful because let's say you're from a little town like Winona. Oh, it's not a little town, sorry. It's a little city like Winona, and you can take all the images of Winona and you can embed it into like their Chamber of Commerce website, or their library website. Public libraries are using this all over Iowa just because we have all these images from these little towns, and it's a way to encourage people to discover the images in a different way. Fortepan's a weird word that we're hoping becomes more, but if it's on the website of a library, then people can get to it from a different angle. The other way of displaying is autoplay. Were you noticing that I was kind of autoplaying beforehand? You can just hit...
We have it going right here.
Yeah. But okay, it's on autoplay. Great. Full screen autoplay. Very powerful. Okay, so filter it to boats or whatever, to alligator wrestling.
Minnesota.
Okay. And all of a sudden you have an instant display. I will show you just how easy this is. This is Coon Rapids, Iowa. And all I do is I click on one image. Do you see how you can go up in the upper right-hand corner, make it full screen? And then you can hit, oh, it's weird on your computer here. Oh, there you are. Play, and then every 5 seconds it changes. If you're in Google Chrome, you can get rid of the bar on top. And so, again, it's just instant. And I was telling our librarian friends that it is a way to, add dimension to a public space, just to, you can change the tag that you auto scroll or auto play, 3 times a week or something, just to generate interest and beauty in your space. Yeah.
I'm really curious. Are there any plans to combine this with other media, like audio or anything?
Yeah.
Like stories from the folks in the photos?
So the question here is, are there any plans to combine other media? So some of our collaborators are doing that. We have big goals to put Super 8 clips on here, and just old home movies goes perfectly well. Get them into the photo story, get them into the timeline. It's just so exciting for us. And audio, yes, we're working right now on another project that allows us to have people upload their own audio stories connected to an image. So, yeah, definitely. So much to do, right? It's exciting. And finally, the last part I wanted to say is that the Creative Commons and the whole movement to make images accessible, it's really great. It's just, started in 2001. Wikimedia Commons is just whoever thought that was going to be so incredible and so successful. And this effort of all these museums to finally realize that they're not making money, really, in generating income for having people find their photos and then, charging for it. It's so much better to get those images that are about public places, that are part of our everyday collective memory, get them out in the public so we can tell our stories, so we can make sense of our lives collectively. And at the same time, access has not been a big priority in terms of platform access, in terms of better exploration, better user experience, better access to digital tools that are sophisticated enough that they can, communicate extremely effective visual stories with parallax scrolling and all this stuff. So we're introducing another level of access. We're yes, go Creative Commons, go. But let's start thinking about the user experience. Let's start thinking about the platform that people are finding these photos on, and let's change this culture just a little bit so that we can make the access world a better place. To that end, I have an organization that was going to be a video, which is good that it's not, because I don't want to take too much time. But Open Portal Archive Network. And just to give you a visual, we are now working with all these other archives in all these different countries who are doing the same thing. We're collaborating. We're finding the best parts of all of our websites, the best map tool, the best visual timeline tool. We're all outside of GLAM. We're all doing such cool things, and we are going to kind of change the world because we're uniting. We're going to become much more sustainable that way. And we're all about everyday people, vernacular photos, and access, and photographs of historical relevance according to place.
That was Professor Bettina Fabos, and we got a moment to talk with her to share more of her thoughts on Fortepan.
My name is Bettina Fabos. I am the director of Fortepan, Iowa, and the co-director of Fortepan US. These are public history platforms. And I'm also a former professor emeritus. I'm a professor emeritus of University of Northern Iowa. So Fortepan is, and you can say Fortepan, it doesn't matter. We call it a public archival photo history platform. It's not really an archive, it's a platform. It's a curated experience where we focus on photos of everyday life, and we focus on photos of place that are familiar to people. And we create an experience where people can search for these images, these high-resolution photos, according to place and time and theme. We have about 7,800 tags that people can search for. So we're trying to make a really beautiful search experience of photos that are meaningful and that connect to everyday life and vernacular history. I got involved with this project because I was looking for photographs for an interactive visual history project that I was doing as an online history of Hungary. And I came across a photo of a photo platform called Fortepan in Hungary. And it was so amazing that I decided this idea, which we've replicated pretty much with Fortepan Iowa and Fortepan US, is becoming a reality now. It's become a reality for the last 10 years. So we think that everybody's story matters, and we think that everyday history, vernacular history, is just as important as history of people who are wealthy and who are kind of powerful public officials who usually are the ones who get their stories told. We think that the stories of people who have been marginalized in the historical narrative, we think their stories are really important, and we think the stories of people, in homes, not in public places, but in the cultural environments of, our everyday lived experiences. We want to highlight those photos. We don't want to highlight the photos that have traditionally been highlighted. We want to tell the stories from the bottom up instead of the top down. And we're doing that with this photo history project.
So how can people get involved?
So our project is all about sharing, and it's a project that really relies on volunteers and people who are kind of quiet experts. We love people who have that kind of expert knowledge but want a place to put it, besides their own interest groups. And so we have images of cars, for example, and we have no idea what model it is, or sometimes we get the year wrong. Sometimes we have like an estimate of a year. It just happened where I put an image saying, this is an image from 1950, and some guy on Facebook said, this model car could have never been 1950. It had to be 1955 or after because of blah, 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 blah. And I love that. I love it how there's all these people who know so much, and we want to celebrate that knowledge. We want to make room for that knowledge, and we want to find people who can help us tag images, who can put in some time helping us upload images and tag, helping people date, helping us, finding people to help us date images, because sometimes we don't know the date and we have to approximate, and sometimes we're off by 5 years, but sometimes we're off by more, because people in the 1920s were still wearing clothes from the 1910s, and we didn't know that. So
absolutely.
So
you would say those are one of the challenges when it comes to uploading a Fortepan?
Dating a photo, if it doesn't have a date, it's not on the timeline. And we have to have it on the timeline. We have to have a date. We have to give it a date. So we need help from people who know their own local history to help us date the photos that are relevant to them. So we scan photos at high resolution. That takes time. And I'm from Iowa, so we have a big scanning hub at the University of Northern Iowa, and I have a group of volunteers who are both students and non-students, people who are outside, and they just love the project, and they just love to be around young people, and sometimes they're in their 70s and 80s, and they want to be part of it. And, we have meetings once a week, and we update each other on their favorite photos. Like, everybody has a favorite photo that they've just tagged or they've just uploaded. So, it takes a village to put on a public history project like this, but it belongs to everybody. It's not our project. It's open source. It's about sharing. Everybody can use the images. So we're very much about making sure everybody knows that they own Fortepan. It's not something that is proprietary in any way.
Wow. I love that so much.
Thank you.
I can't explain to you how much I adore this project.
Thank you so much. I want to give you a hug. Thank you.
I'll be happy to give you a hug after. And then, so if people want to learn more, they can visit the website, right? Can you say?
Yeah, the website is Fortepan, FORTEPAN.US. And if you want to just see Minnesota photos, just add a / and an MN, and that's going to be taking you to Fortepan, Minnesota, which is small now, but it's growing. and under the direction of Dr. Kay Hannahan. So she is at Winona State, and she's the one in charge of Fortepan, Minnesota.
That concludes part 1 of an introduction to Fortepan on Artbeat. Tune in next week for part 2. Thanks again to Bettina Fabos for joining us today on Artbeat. To learn more about the International Digital Media and Arts Association or the iDMAa Conference and Exhibitions, you can visit their website at idmaa.org, spelled iDMAa.org. You can also check out more works by Bettina Fabos at uni.edu Fabos. For more conversations on art, tune in to Artbeat, Tuesdays at 12:30 right here on 89.5 KQAL. For links to podcasts of Artbeat and other KQAL original programming, go to kqal.org. I'm Kristine Osorio, and we've just heard from Bettina Fabos on Artbeat.
Artbeat is written and produced by KQAL-FM on the campus of Winona State University. Visit us on the web at kqal.org.